Hey everybody, this is Jerichos, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Last time, we took on the super bosses. Well, most of them. This time, we are at level 76, and it is finally time to grind to level 100. Make sure you've got all the I almost said earring there. All the EXP equipment on your party. Because if you have all 4 of them equipped, you will double the experience you get from every kill. Make sure you've got every tech boost equipped. And, for one specific reason, make sure you've got Lucky Strikes equipped across the board. Now, where I'm going to start my leveling journey is the Sniper... Yeah, Sniper Wild's out here. I'm ignoring you. Head into the hotel, and we want to go in this hallway. Because here we get 3 defenders who, thanks to our increased attack power here, fall in basically 2 hits. And they drop bright crystals, which we don't care about. Then we get 4 wizards. And they drop shiny crystals, which we don't care about at this point. But they do drop something that we do care about. Well, no luck with this. So let's leave, re-enter, and we're going to do the monotony of farming this hallway over and over again. Both the defenders and the wizards have a special drop. Now, to give you an idea, you've seen how tedious it is to get bright crystals and shiny crystals. They are super rare drops. Oh, speaking of, we've seen 1 bright and 1 shiny already. We are going to grind these special drops that have an even worse drop rate. Bright crystals and shiny crystals have a 2% chance to drop from them. The items we want have a 0.2% chance to drop. So I'm going to go about this, killing them over and over, and I'll cut ahead to when we get the special items that I want. See you then. And we got it! The drop from the wizards is the Wizard's Relic. You know you've got it when that big blue item drops. That is a staff for Donald. Yeah, it's actually the staff that they use. 1 less MP than Fantasista, but it's got some good strength. And you know what? I think it's appropriate. Let's equip it. So we're up to level 80, and you know what? Let's look at the journal. How many wizards have we killed? It took 386 wizards to get it to drop. I have had playthroughs where I have gotten the Wizard's Relic just naturally playing through the story, and I've had points where it took me over 500 kills. But we've got 1 more. We still need the Defender's drop. So let's cut ahead to finding that. And we got another Wizard Relic before we got a Defender. That is hilarious. Let's see. Finish you off so I can access my menu. We are at level 83 now. And 470 wizards. By comparison, 309 defenders. So I guess let's keep going and see how many we can get. And there it is. The Defender. A shield for Goofy. Finally. I have been grinding for a bit over an hour now. Let's see, just quick comparison. Yeah, we're up to 680 wizards. 476 defenders. We are at level 90. And let's look at this. Oh ho ho, a rugged shield sometimes left behind by defenders. Yeah, it's the shield they use. And it's got some good attack and even raises some max MP by 1. I mean, it's no 7 elements when it comes to MP, but 4 attack versus 10? No, 13, excuse me, I was on the wrong shield. I'll take it. So now Goofy's got a defender, Donald's got 2 wizard relics, too bad he can't dual wield. And we've got 10 more levels to get. The grind continues. Oh my gosh. I am almost at level 100. And we just got a 3rd Wizard's Relic. Sora's 97. And yes, we have 3 Wizard Relics now. I thought for sure I was going to get 100 and not get another one. Well, we're almost at the finish line now. Let's do this. And there we have it. Level Master. For getting Sora to level 100. Whew, it's been a long journey in this hallway. Now, I will tell you, this is not the most effective way to level to 100. I mostly wanted to do it, well, at first to get a Defender and a Wizard's Relic, and then just to see how many we ended up getting. Which, again, 3 Wizard Relics for Donald. For Donald. I find that hilarious. Only ever the 1 Defender, though. And hilariously, Donald is still level 98. Yeah, because of the way levels work, Goofy is always a higher level than you. Donald is always a lower level. Goofy hit 100 first. Now Sora and Donald will get it in time. But we have a lot of money thanks to all that grinding. Let's go buy that last accessory. And then we've got a challenge that's been waiting for us that I am ready to knock out finally. Hey, bud. Give me that Thundagon Band. Yeah, 64,000 money. So we're done here. Let's go to the Olympus Coliseum. We went through the crazy 49 rounds of the Hades Cup before. It's time to do it solo and time trial. And, funnily enough, the Hades Cup, starting on Seeds 10, and doing basically the last 9 matches, is one of the best ways to level up. Because the Titan at the end, the Earth Titan, gives you 4,000 experience for beating it, plus a tech point every time you hit him, and you get all the experience along the way. Plus, having Goofy in the party gets you a bunch of XP. You can also do the Ice Titan, but you'd have to then give Sora the EXP gear if you want to improve that stuff. Anyway, let me change up Goofy's equipment real quick, because, hey, now that we're basically level 100, Donald will get it eventually. These equipment are worthless. See you in a moment. There we go. I think that looks a little better, don't you? Anyway, it's time. Let's talk to Phil, and we're doing the Hades Cup solo. Yeah, despite the fact I just equipped Goofy stuff, it's just Sora. We start at the 50th seed. Now, like when we did the Hades Cup Standard, every 10 seeds you get through, it will be a checkpoint. And if you fail, you can just start over from the top seed checkpoint you reached. The time trial will be different. But you've seen all this before. I'm going to go ahead and just jump ahead to the last fight.
That's the power of the Keyblade.
We're here. Final battle against the Rock Titan. Can we manage to defeat him all on our own? Yeah. This is going to be actually ridiculously easy. I, once again, love using Arrow here just to get some extra hits on his feet. We have so many combo pluses now. It's kind of ridiculous. Alright, up here. Do as much damage as we can. The switch back and forth from ground to air with all the combo pluses makes it feel like our combo is never ending. And I love that. Now, just keep up the hurt. I found actually switching back and forth between the heads is also a great way to help you stay up on top. And even though we're level 100 here, we didn't manage to defeat him in one cycle. So, Donald and Goofy, I almost said Donald and Goofy. Donald and Goofy absolutely do pull their weight. They do some damage that really adds up. So if you're ever, unsure, hey, are they really doing anything? Well, there's video proof that, yeah, they are. And, oh, I love finishing off with a gravity break. We took him out. And our reward for finishing solo is the Save the Queen staff for Donald, which gets us Master Magician. Obtain all staves. Why don't we look at that for Donald, shall we? Wizard's Relic has been my go-to now since it dropped. 8 strength and 2 MP. Save the Queen. 10 strength and 2 MP. And it honestly looks cool. Plus, how appropriate that in a Final Fantasy adjacent game we get a weapon called Save the Queen. You know what, Donald? Can you pull out the weapon? You're not gonna, are you? Not out here. Oh well. Well, we did solo. Now, we're gonna do the time trial. And we have to do it all in one go. If you lose at any point in the time trial or don't make a certain time, you gotta start the whole thing over. Oh, also, we didn't see it happen because Donald wasn't in the party, but hey, he got 2 levels. He has hit level 100. We're all max level now. So let's pop into the time trial, and while we do it, I'm going to speed it up and talk about something interesting. Let's go. While we are more or less speedrunning the Hades Cup, why don't we speedrun the whole game? There is a trophy for beating the final boss in under 15 hours. And there are a few things you can do to make this speedrun easier on yourself. First, it may seem obvious, but you want to pick beginner difficulty. Next, I recommend picking the sword in Dive to the Heart. It gives you a little more strength early on, which can be helpful. And you can unlock some battle abilities early on that can make the early game easier. Which one you give up isn't as important. I give up the staff, but that's just the choice I made. Now, I did say to play on beginner mode, and aside from the fact that enemies will do less damage, it also starts you off with some extra bonuses. If you choose beginner mode, you will start off with 8 power-ups, 8 defense ups, and 4 AP ups for free in your inventory. You also start with an EXP necklace and a ribbon already equipped to Sora. And this is extremely helpful because there are 2 other challenges that I'll be doing during the speedrun. Beating the game without getting a game over and continuing, and beating the game without ever changing your equipment. So we're going to start with the Kingdom Key, and we're never going to change our weapons or accessories. And that goes for the party members too. So that EXP necklace and ribbon already equipped to Sora, you get that benefit. Now, you're going to want to skip every cutscene you can. Whenever cutscenes start playing, pause, and you'll usually get an option to skip scene. If you can't skip the cutscene, just mash the X button and get through the talking as fast as possible. The vast majority of your time is going to be cutscenes. And if you keep skipping them, you'll have more time than you expect. Also, when you encounter random enemies out in the field, you don't really have to fight them. You can just run past them. If you don't have to kill them to progress a scene, just keep going. You shouldn't need to grind for this playthrough. Well, not for most of it anyway. Speaking of leveling, when you get to the point with the 3 kids in Dive to the Heart, you want to choose the first answer for each of their questions. With that, it will say your adventure begins at dawn. This means you will level up faster from levels 1 to 50. Now, you may be wondering, can't I pause the game? Isn't there a way to stop the timer? You cannot. If you pause the game and bring up the menu, the timer will keep going. If you pause during battle, it'll continue. If you pause during a cutscene, it will not stop. There is no way to pause it in-game. There is one exception. On the PS4, if you tap the PS button, or PS5 if you hold the PS button, you'll go to the dashboard. That will pause the game's timer. Or you can put your system into rest mode, but that is the only way to pause the timer. Another trick you can do to cut a significant portion of your gameplay out is you can skip 2 worlds entirely. You can skip Olympus Coliseum, you never have to go here, and you can skip either Atlantica or Halloween Town. Whichever one you go to first, once you're finished, fly off toward Neverland, and you're good. I choose to skip Atlantica because Halloween Town is a bit shorter than Atlantica. But as you can see, skipped Coliseum, skipped Atlantica, and we're here at the end of the world. And speaking of the end of the world, we're here in World Terminus, and you don't actually have to go into the fire pillars to fight the enemies. They're optional for any worlds that you've cleared. So we could just skip past these ones, and you'll notice they're pink fires. They've got the little blue light at the end, except, oh, here's one that's a blue fire with no light. We've got to do Olympus Coliseum. So you only have to do Olympus and Atlantica. All that's left now is getting to that final save point. And you know, honestly, I didn't have that much trouble getting through each of the worlds on the speed run. Especially the early worlds and early bosses. At that point, you don't really have a lot of magic or abilities, so there isn't a whole lot of complicated stuff you can do. The early bosses really do kind of come down to just smack them until they die. Now, Trickmaster, you can hop up on the corner table and get a few little better reaching attacks, but other than that, it's really just wail away on him. Fun fact, I actually did not know this until this speedrun. You don't actually have to defeat the Stealth Sneak. Once you knock Clayton off, keep fighting Clayton, and when his HP goes down, the fight ends. Yeah, you don't have to defeat the Chameleon at all. I will say that probably the majority of, I don't know if I'd call it hassle, but the hassle I went through in the speedrun was remembering which paths you take to get from progressing the story. Like in Traverse Town, when you have to go through certain doors to trigger Goofy and Donald showing up, you have to see those like 4 scenes. In Monstro, you have to make your way to Chamber 4. That one, thankfully, is just, you know, follow a set route and you'll get right there to it. But the bosses and the fights themselves, really kind of easy, especially once you get Cure after Deep Jungle. Now, this is a fun one. Part of not grinding for enemies means we're kind of low level, and when you kill bosses, you can get a big chunk of experience. So yeah, we got like 3 level ups for every character out of that fight, and that just cracked me up. Now, fun fact, I mentioned use those strength ups and defense ups and AP ups they give you. I mentioned that, and then I forgot about them for most of my playthrough. It wasn't till Neverland that I actually remembered to use them. Maleficent can be a little bit of a pain if you are not careful. You'll want to focus those defenders down if they're near her. But Maleficent Dragon is going to be your first potentially real challenge. Make sure you start summoning Tinkerbell every boss fight you can starting here, because she hits hard and you don't want to be caught unaware. Chernabog, though, this one you can summon Tinkerbell if you land on his back, so do that early, then you should be good. Just fly away from his fire and you probably will take him down in a few tries. With that, we are at the final save point. And fun fact, I mentioned about skipping Olympus Coliseum and Atlantica. If you skip them, you'll never get Thunder Magic. That's because it is only unlocked in those worlds. And honestly, I find that kind of hilarious. Also, remember how I said you'll likely be fine on time? Yeah, we're here right before the final boss, and we're barely over 5 hours. I'm level 48, I didn't really grind at all up to this point. In fact, I basically skipped every Heartless I could find. So, yeah, you got plenty of buffer time. If you want to kill enemies as you go along the way, it's not going to hurt you. Anyway, let's go ahead and take on Ansem once and for all. Alright, I've got something to confess. You may notice my health and magic are a bit longer. I had some trouble with the final boss doing this as the challenge run, so I did some grinding. I went to Olympus Coliseum, spent a few hours, and got about 10 levels. Just to make this a little more palatable. Honestly, the first battle is not too bad, but the one-on-one fight with Ansem can get a little tricky. You've got to get really good at dodging away from him, especially when he does the possessing move. But kind of play it safe and you'll take him down relatively easily. Be absolutely ready, though, to block him when he does his charge move. Yep, like I missed there. But stop him and you'll usually be able to get a few free hits in. Final Ansem fight it's a little tricky. He hits hard and you want to stay kind of behind him. Dodge the lasers best you can. Interesting fact, his little bat beings that he summons, you can despawn them if you fly away from him. But honestly, you might want to actually attack them to get some health and magic back. Anyway, let's finish this fight. Take him out. And with that, we have defeated Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, forever. Yeah, maybe not forever. But we get the trophy Speedster for defeating the World of Chaos in under 15 hours. We took him out, and he explodes. So satisfying. But I was going for 2 other challenges, and you'll notice those trophies didn't pop. So we need to skip ahead and get to the game clear screen. And arriving here, we get Undefeated, clear the game without using a continue, and Unchanging Armor for clearing the game without changing equipment. Reminder, that is your equipment and your party members. But we've done it. Those challenges have been completed. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, for your own sake, don't do all 3 challenges at once. It's kind of a headache doing Unchanging Equipment, Speedster at the same time. Do a run where you do Speedster, do a run where you do Unchanging Equipment. Don't put yourself through it trying to do it all at once. That's just my personal recommendation, but it's obviously doable. I just don't think it's worth it. And with that, why don't we go back to watching the rest of the Colosseum, the Hades Cup, as we finish that up.
Oh yeah.
You know, call it a hunch, but I think we're probably good as far as time goes. We're on the final match, and we've used barely more than half our allotted time. You know what? We have just enough MP to cast Wind. To cast Wind, because Sora shouted that. To cast Arrow. Let's do it. Take him down as fast as we can. We only have 8.5 minutes to beat this guy. Can we do it? Spoiler alert. Yeah, we're gonna be able to do it. Oh, I didn't even notice Goofy just suddenly appeared up here. That's kind of fun. Got him to his last health bar. And 7 minutes, 45 seconds left. Time trial done. For that, we get the Save the King for Goofy, along with Master Defender for obtaining all shields. Yeah, Save the Queen is a common thing in Final Fantasy. Save the King, not so much, but I like that they gave it to him. So, Defender has 13 attack and 6 MP. Save the King, tiny bit less attack, but more MP. While Defender might do more damage as far as his brute forcing, royally powerful shield, how can you say no to that? We've gotten every staff, we've gotten every shield, but we haven't gotten every Keyblade, and we haven't done everything this game has to offer. There's one more challenge left, and we're gonna do that in the next episode. Oh, he's wearing the shield. He's got it out. I love it. Donald, why don't you pull out your weapon? Oh, wait, I wonder if I do... If I change his weapon... Oh, I was hoping he would pull it out. Well, that's fine. Anyway, next time, we're tackling the final ultimate challenge. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys next time.